well, ready? Oh my God, I'm already finishing my water. We didn't even say it.
Okay, I'm getting nervous now.
I know, it makes me nervous.
Because I feel like I don't have anything ready, so
don't worry about it.
Am I gonna go with your lead? Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Imagine in front of a crowd. Like, it's only us right
I
now.
know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And the director, he's watching.
Yeah,
watching.
He looks pretty serious.
He's on a time limit.
Okay. Because we started. Okay.
Anyway. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Chemical X. This is episode 6, and it's actually our first interview. So we're super excited, and I just want to thank Kayla for coming on the show.
Hello.
Hi, Kayla. So we have actually a special interview for Pride Month. So last week you saw our rainbow, and now it has become the crown on Kayla's head. But we didn't mean it to be a gay crown, but it's kind of a gay crown right now. But yeah, so we're interviewing her today. So we just want to, first of all, thank you for being on the show.
It is my pleasure.
We hope you enjoy it.
Yep.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I feel like we've wanted to do this for so long.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's fun for me because so many people ask me questions all the time. So finally, I could probably answer so many questions on one place. So
yeah,
it's going to be super fun.
I'm sure you get so many questions. So you're, first of all, lesbian, right?
Yes.
Also the gay
FYI.
crown. That's why it's there. FYI. But you're also a bodybuilder.
Yep.
So I feel like those two things, you get a lot of stereotypes with them, and I'm sure you get so many crazy questions. So I'm excited to see what we can talk about, what we can unveil in this podcast. But and I also want to thank Neonific for the gay crown. Thank you. The game bow. Game bow? Does that work?
I'm not sure.
It's okay. We'll make it happen.
It's fine. So tell us about your day. She was saying how she went tanning today, and it was a very interesting story. So we want you to repeat it.
Well, as much as boyish, I'm very much of a princess. I like to get my tan on, my hair done, not one hair out of place, nothing. But no, I had a good day. I went to the gym. I worked out. Did some tanning. Gym time laundry. Exactly. So no, it was a really good day. A hot one. Very hot day. But
hot, but still made it to the tanning salon.
Exactly.
Yeah, has the sun outside, but goes to the tanning salon. Yeah. But I was saying that I can't believe the tanning salons are open because I just feel like just creates germs.
Yeah, I feel like
I feel like my sweaty ass on that thing, and somebody else is just jumping in there.
Yeah, like we mentioned before. Yeah, like we kind of spoke of before. I didn't understand. I walked into this tanning salon. Obviously, I go in this machine butt naked. I'm tanning. So I go up to the girl. I'm like, sorry, can I use your washroom? She's like, no. I'm like, excuse me? Wait. So basically, my ass could be on your tanning salon, but I can't sit my ass on your toilet bowl. Like
what?
No.
That's insane.
Yeah. So basically, for me, that made no sense. But anyways, it is what it is, and we're going to have to adjust.
Yeah. I think there's so many things that are like, I went to the hair salon today. Shout out to Hair by Anthony also. All my ads are coming in here right away.
Oh my God.
But we had to wear fucking masks. And I'm not even joking. So it takes me like about 5-6 hours at the hair salon because I'm getting my hair dyed. And I was literally like I'm reaching in this mask. Like, I'm like, guys, like, so you're going to find me on the floor at least with blonde hair, and but I'm going to be dead.
Oh my God.
Well, even at the gym, it's
at
kind
least
of
you die
awkward.
with good looks.
Yeah, at least
she's gonna look good in that. She's gonna look good at her funeral.
Yeah.
But yeah, even at the gym was really awkward. Like, first of all, we're seeing so many people. We don't know how to act with each other or be. You don't want to like shake hands. Are we allowed or not?
Right.
And you're disinfecting nonstop with the spray all day. It's like at this point, you're crazy. Like, do you actually want to go to the gym at that point? You're spending more time spraying than lifting.
Yeah, literally. At least our finger muscles.
Yeah, that's it.
But no, when you came in, it's like I want to introduce myself, but I'm always like, ugh.
You don't know what to do.
How do you know literally?
Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I just end up with
but I'm like, don't you get even closer when you do this?
But I'm like, what? Like, I'm just like, you know what? What's up?
Like,
it's what's up or it's a hug. Like, it's 0 or 100.
Literally.
That's all you get. Also, I want to call out the fact that me and Alessia are poor and we have one microphone. So if you're wondering why
one microphone and she got the Apple headphones and I'm still on the $2 headphones. So,
but at least Kayla got the sign this time, so you can't complain.
Right.
But so if the sound is a bit fucked up, because Alessia's screaming over me and we're sharing a mic. So I wanted to bring it a bit to Pride. So like how involved would you say are you in like the gay community or like the LGBTQ community?
Honestly,
I always
LGBTQ.
honestly, like I'm not that much into it. Meaning, like I don't go much into the village and like going to these organizations and so on. But I would say onto my Instagram account, like I'm very open about my sexuality, about myself. I'm not shy to speak about certain things and obviously show off how I look.
Yeah.
You know, and many times I do videos where I talk about many different scenarios on how you should act if, you know, you're approached in a negative way.
Yeah.
You know, so a bunch of stuff like that. So I would say
good.
more like on my social media than anything.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually a good way because I have so many followers and, you know, it's not always people that I know personally, but they come and talk to me, ask me like, how do you deal with this? How do you look that way? How can I, you know, a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
So I think I've actually done a pretty good job in that way. So I'm pretty happy with it. And, you know, the fact that I'm even invited here and got chosen for Pride, you know, honestly, it's an honor, you know, it's super fun. And the fact that you guys came to me, it's because clearly I you know, popped out and I came to you guys to your eyes. So I'm super happy.
I love people. I mean, in general, we're people, we own ourselves. Like the whole show is just about being like unapologetic
real.
and 100% real. So we like, you know, your style where you just say whatever. You'll always talk about, like, even when we were on DMs, it was like, you were saying how you had all these questions people asked you, like, oh, like, what's a question? And you're like, I mean, people always ask me if I'm a boy or a girl. I'm like, oh my God.
That's like the number one question. It's the main thing.
What?
But like I said, if I'm a lesbian, clearly I'm a woman. So, but just to say, but yeah, no, that's a big question, which I find totally normal. You know, I'm always asking. I can't, you know, as I grew up and I started changing, there's some things that I need to accept and realize that even other people, how they see me, I need to accept how other people see me too, you know? And the fact they see me as a dude, I mean, I'm more muscular than many guys. So obviously it's normal, you know? And even the sense of like, as I grew up, I started being more muscular, more boyish. So I actually have to go to the men's washroom because if I go in the women's washroom, forget it. It's like a whole story. Oh my God, you're in the wrong washroom.
Really?
You don't
That's
understand. Oh yeah, I had a really bad scenario once. I would say about 2-3 years ago.
Oh my God, tell us.
Oh yeah, I went to the washroom and I walked in and obviously the first girl who bumps into me, she goes, "You're in the wrong washroom." So I'm like, oh, okay, well, no, I'm a girl. So she lets me pass. It's fine. It's chill. So I go grab the door. And this lady goes, "Oh my God, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "No, I'm a girl." She goes, "No, you're not." I'm like,
You're like, bitch, yes, I am. Like, don't tell me.
Don't tell me. She goes, "This is not a transgendered washroom. Get the fuck out." I'm like, "Oh, sorry. Where is the transgendered washroom?" Outside in the garden? Like, tell me.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then she was like, and I'm like, "Anyways, I'm going to go piss out of my pussy now. Ciao." Literally, when I slammed the door, all you heard was like it was so awkward after. But yeah, when I came out though, like I came out of the washroom and I just looked at everyone and everyone was like, and I was like, anyways, yeah, ciao, I'm gonna leave now. But yeah, that was like a big scenario that happened. But you know, I'm happy it happened because at the same time, this woman who came to me, like, I probably taught her a lesson, you know? Like, I went there, I give you back attitude, like, this is my place too, you know?
But good for you.
But at the same time, I go in the guys' washroom just not to deal with this shit, you know? I just want to take a piss.
But
like,
you know
I don't want to argue every time.
Yeah.
You know?
Like,
so,
it's good that you actually stood up for yourself because I feel like a lot of people would just be like, oh, like, you
yeah,
know, just go.
but
And it's
you know,
like,
that's
you know
why,
what? Like, teach
no,
a lesson
for sure.
when you could
That's
teach a
why
lesson.
also I tell a lot of people sometimes to stand up is a good thing, you know? Because let's say me, thank God I have an attitude. So, you know, I tell her off. But let's say I didn't, right? And she would come on to me. And when I came out of this washroom, the people that were in the line, I could tell they weren't against me, you know? But they were scared to speak up. But just to say, like, if you would have spoken up for that person who wasn't able to speak up, maybe you would have helped them. That person, imagine, could have gone home crying or, like, feeling like shit, you know? Feeling lonely, you know? So for sure, when I came out and I just looked at them, they looked at me and I actually said out loud, I'm like, imagine my position and no one standing up to me. And they were just like, huh, but it is what it is.
Everybody's going to go home that day and they're going to learn something.
But exactly, 100%. Me, no matter the scenario, is always someone's lesson, you know? Whether it was that woman or those girls in line, you know? Maybe they never faced something like that and then it happened in their face. So they were like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah. But, well, I mean, good for you. But I feel like since you get asked that a lot, like, how does it make you feel now? Like, you're saying, like, you know, you've accepted it, you accept that not everybody sees things the same way, and like you see it more in a way like it's an opportunity to educate somebody. So
for sure.
do you still take it bad? Like, how does that?
Well, when I started, I actually felt bad on how I made people feel. So let's say like they were like, oh, you're a guy, and I'm like, no, I'm a girl. And because they felt a bit uncomfortable because they were confused, I felt bad how they felt. So I felt like shit. You know, I was like, oh my God, like, I made them feel confused and so on. And then with time, I'm like, what the hell do I care? Like, what do I care how she sees me or whether she's confused? Exactly. So at the end of the day, I'm like, I go to bed and I'm happy for her. And you know what? For a long time, I was almost living a double life. I was in high school. I would go on St. Lawrence Up Club and stuff, wearing my crop tops. Imagine I was wearing crop tops and tights and stuff. You don't understand. These guys were whistling at me. I was like, oh no, you're barking up the wrong tree, man. I was like freaking out. Anyways, and then I would go, imagine another weekend, I would dress up like a boy and go in the village. You know, I was like living a double life. My mom was so fucking lost. She's like, what the hell's going on? One weekend you're like that and the next you're the other. And, but yeah, so eventually I had to make a decision. And I told myself, you know what? I gotta be comfortable with myself. And you know what? I always say the more you're comfortable and confident with yourself, the more people will accept you.
Oh, for sure.
And have respect for you. And even not even as a gay person, even someone who's heterosexual, like, if you're confident about yourself, no one will come at you. No one will bother you. You know? You're so, okay, I'm happy skinny. And now what? What do you have to say? Okay, so you know what I'm saying? When you're confident, no matter what, like, no one can phase you.
Exactly. You're in yourself.
You stand your ground.
Exactly.
So what age would you say, what age did you come out? Like,
okay, well, I didn't really have the chance to come out. My mom actually came at me and she was like, you have something to tell me? And I was like, fuck, I didn't do my homework. I didn't do it. Like, it was really not something that was... And then she looks at me, she goes, you like girls, huh? And I was like, oh, fuck. How the hell did you like that girl on your soccer team? The way you look at her, I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, my God. Moms
they know everything, you know? And then, you know what? And
maybe
my mom...
easier that way, though.
And my mom is super religious, too, you know? So I was like,
really?
Fuck, you know, like this... And you know what? Again, it's such a lesson because for her now, she's so open and like at first she was stressed because of other people.
Right.
But then with
what
time,
they're gonna think.
Exactly.
I think a lot of parents like they're not concerned that their child is like gay, trans.
It's having to deal with everybody.
The world.
They're scared
the world.
for like the people of like how they'll react, like especially like all the violence that goes on, for example, with trans people or you know like gay people of color, like there's so much violence and so much like stuff that it's like you would feel scared.
They just want to protect.
But thank God, like with time, I would say from when I was 18 years old till now, there's a big difference. But even when I was in high school, it wasn't that open, you know? It wasn't that... I remember being in high school and like, you know, everyone has their boyfriend, their girl. Man, I'm like, where am I gonna find this girlfriend over here? Like, no one's coming out. How am I supposed to find her, you know? But then at some point, I actually came out in high school. I was in secondary 3 and I'm like, fuck, I have to put myself out there. How is she gonna find me after, you know? So I actually came out and my only stress actually was my friends because, you know, we all go in the girls' changing room. So I was like, guys, I swear to God, I don't look at you guys.
You guys are not my type.
Yeah,
sorry.
Exactly. I'd be like, you're not even my type, so whatever, you know? But no, that was my only stress, really. But yeah, I came out to them. My other family members accepted it and stuff. For sure, at first, they were maybe like, you know, it's a phase. Everyone says that it's a phase to phase. But I obviously stuck to it. So, no, they accepted it. But even with them, I'm like, even if you're family, I tell them, listen, if you didn't like me before I was gay, fine, hate me, you know? But if you hate me because of who I'm doing behind closed doors, basically,
because at the end of the day, what else is it? Like,
what does it matter?
What does it matter?
Yeah, exactly. And for me, like, you know, people are homophobe. I accept them. Like, you're allowed your opinion. You're allowed whatever, you know? But at the same time, for me, it's like, how can you have so much anger or whatever towards something that has nothing to do with you?
Nothing to do with you.
You know, you're for me, you're ruining your own life, your own happiness,
I
worrying about someone else.
I usually feel like the people who are like that are normally the ones who are uneducated.
They're uneducated. And not only that, sometimes maybe you're insecure about something.
Right.
Maybe you're insecure about your own sexuality, you know?
100%.
And also that with a lot of gay people, they're scared to come out and they actually try and be an extremist on the other way, you know? I had actually a friend and I was like, dude, you're a lesbian. No, I'm not.
Oh my God.
You're a lesbian. No, I love this boy. I love that boy. I'm like, no, you're not.
Normally when they try and flaunt
exactly,
the
but
other
like,
things,
you know, like too much. And she's a lesbian now, so just to say, but
But how was the dating scene? So when you came out, like, so you just started going?
It was hard, honestly. Like, I was going on all these dating sites and stuff, but like,
I feel like it's not equal for guys and girls. Like,
No.
guys, like gay guys, you guys have Grindr. I feel like even the club scene in Montreal, there's so many gay clubs. I remember I went to a club with my best friend.
I was
gay.
there, I think, too.
It wasn't the first time, and I was like ready. I'm like, I'm gonna get picked up by all these girls. Like, I was so ready going in. I literally went in. It was only guys. And it was like terrifying. Everybody was like on drugs, and I was like,
You're
like, this is not what I thought.
I saw the girls. Like, what's going on?
No, well, actually, what I find is in the village, because girls, lesbians are mostly accepted in the real world, so they made like the gay village more for men, I guess, so they feel more accepted and so on. For sure, there's some girls and stuff, but yeah, it's mostly men because of that, because it is true, men have it harder.
That was another one of my questions.
It's really hard for, I mean, obviously I'm not a gay man, I can't speak for them, but from being in that scene, it is harder because, a lot of women who, a lot of people who see men being unmasculated right away, it's like ew and this and that, you understand? So for sure they get bashed more. Women, even me when I was the lesbian but not as boyish, lesbians are hot, make out.
Exactly. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a lot more fetishized in like
exactly.
in the whole world. Like guys like it, girls like it. Like I know a bunch of girls who like straight girls. Like I've heard it on so many podcasts even of like these straight girls who watch lesbian porn. Like it's so normalized, but you wouldn't hear of people watching gay porn.
No.
Like I feel like it's a bit more of a struggle, and it's a little bit easier to hide as well. Like I think, two girls walking down the street, you'd never be like gay, but it's like two guys holding hands. You know what I mean? It's right away apparent. So I think it's a little bit harder.
But even girls who weren't even gay during the club, we're drunk, let's make out, let's hold hands.
You never know, honestly.
So even if like you want to kind of hide it, you could just be like, yeah, she's my best friend, just to say, you know what I'm saying? But two guys making out in a club, you're not going to be like, oh my God, we're just friends,
The best is sure. We even had we have a couple of gay friends, but we would go in the club and they would be like, holding our hands or grabbing our hands. I'm like, hey, we're actually trying to pick up today. Like, can you?
It's like you're actually
people are gonna think,
Now they think you're straight and they think, please go away. But what did I want to say? I just ruined this whole conversation for something I can't even remember. But just, that's what I wanted to say. Like, I feel like guys, like a girl, you could make out with a girl and no one would ever be like, you're gay. A guy, you make out with another guy and it's like right away for the rest of your life, everybody's going to brand you as gay. And it's like, I find it so unfair. Everybody, like sexuality.
There's a double standard there, for sure.
Like,
okay, even just to say, sexually wise, like it doesn't mean a guy likes a finger in his ass and makes him gay. You know what I'm saying? No, but just to say, like a finger. Oh yeah, you're gay. No, hello, he's allowed to like it. You know what I'm saying?
It has nothing to do with anything. Like there's literally guys that like to get fucked in the ass, but they're not gay.
Exactly.
Unless you like men, that makes you gay.
Unless it's a dude doing it in your ass.
There's literally gay guys that don't even like to get fucked. Like it's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just think I think there's different challenges with both of them. I see a lot of like, in like the lesbian community, like people feel like they don't want to feel hidden, like they don't want to feel like they're undercover. Like it's always like, no, this is actually my girlfriend. It's like, no, it's your roommate. It's like, no, this is my girlfriend.
Well,
like,
it has happened to me in the club. Especially when I was more girly. Now obviously I look like a lesbian, but when I was more like girly, let's say I'd be out with my girl and they'd be like, yeah, this is my girlfriend, and they'd be like, no, like it's probably just your best friend and you're saying she's your girlfriend. They wouldn't take it seriously, which is actually a piss off, And that too, what I find as like a lesbian is men don't take me seriously, Like now that I'm more boyish, they think I'm a guy. Like that's why I actually got to live both ways, Like now they take me more serious because I'm more manly and this and that. But when I was more girly, it was actually like they just look at me like, yeah, whatever, push over, like,
I can change you.
Now you're like, I go to the gym and I'll actually beat you up.
Excuse me. Yeah, now when my girlfriend's like, yeah, my girlfriend's over there, he's like, yeah, they're like, yeah, it's her, and they're like, oh fuck, yeah, ciao, bye. They're like, ciao.
They're like, girlfriend, yeah, great, gotta go.
Yeah, ciao, bye, I'm leaving.
I actually had a question. So I was thinking, I feel like there's a lot of especially for you, since you're more boyish. So how would you, just to start off, how would you classify that? Because I know there's a lot of words and some of them aren't good. I saw on TikTok, everybody says stud. I'm like, I never heard that word before. Like, what's the
Honestly,
word that you
I don't even know half of them. There's so much, I don't even know.
There's just always, and I'm like, I don't even know what to say.
There's lipstick, so it's basically really a girly girl.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's the stud, so it's more, I would maybe say I'm kind of like a stud.
Yeah.
And then there's more of a butch. I guess it's more, I don't know.
Of a butch.
A butch. I don't know. Like, I don't even know how to, even me as a lesbian, I don't even know how to classify them properly.
Okay, so then I don't, because
because I don't want to speak for others either,
Yeah.
but for me, I guess kind of a stud. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But speaking of TikTok, okay, so you're on TikTok.
Yeah.
You're
there's
pretty
a huge community of
Yeah.
I was like, finally, there's something for lesbians, man. It's about time we start shining somewhere.
Oh my god!
I first downloaded TikTok, and I don't know. You know how they say they categorize you by your what you like and stuff like that. It'll all of a sudden I started getting this all this lesbian trans stuff, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what I look at, but I'm getting they're just showing me lesbian trans stuff. But then now I'm so knowledgeable in it because that's all I see on my TikTok.
But there's other people you get
community.
you get to actually learn of other people too, So it's pretty cool, and you get to hear other people's stories on it and stuff. So
when did you get on TikTok?
Because of my niece.
Which
she's
me too.
She's 7 years old. She's like, yo, Tia, let's make a TikTok. I'm like, okay, sure. So I post one for fun. And already on Instagram, I do a lot of lip sync videos and stuff.
Right.
So I'm like, let me do one, So I did one, and I started getting actually a lot of views and stuff, which I was actually surprised. And then after I did a lip sync video, and actually one of them says lesbian check in the wording of it. So I'm walking just normal in front of the mirror, lesbian check, king, that's it. I go to, that's not a lesbian. That's not this, that. I'm like, oh, excuse me. Oh, you saw what's in between my legs? It's so crazy though how, which it kind of sucks in a way because you're doing these fun videos and these people right away come attacking you, your I'm doing a video. It has nothing to do with the video.
Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, one guy's like, but me, I'm the type of person, you're going to judge me. I'll try and find a way to not judge you in a mean way, but kind of a payback.
Yeah,
this
for
guy's
sure.
like, oh, well, you look muscular from the top, but your legs need a workout. I'm like, excuse me, you need teeth whitening, so thank you very much. Don't come at me and judge me. Take care of yourself before looking at me.
I feel like I'm like that too, though. If somebody tries to insult, I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah, but I love it. One of the best ones I ever had. This guy's like, why do you still wear sports bra? You have no tits. So I go on this picture scrolling. Oh, he's kind of chubby. All right. So I go and talk to him. Not that I care that I don't care, but just to come back, I'm like, well, the day you wear a bra, since you have bigger tits than mine, I'll take off mine. He was just, it's not funny anymore, is it, huh? You have to come back like that in life, If you show you're too mad or angry, it won't bring you anywhere. You'll just be sad.
Yeah,
you'll
exactly.
be sad,
I feel like the second you're able to laugh at yourself is the second nobody can actually face you or bother
And
you.
also, a big thing that I'm not ashamed to talk about, I go to the gym, I'm a bodybuilder, I take testosterone, so for sure people, oh yeah, she's on testosterone. I'm like, yeah, and? Okay. But, okay, so then what, And even as bodybuilders, some people are ashamed of it, but you shouldn't. Even if you take it, you need to work out. You don't just take it and muscles come out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? But just to say, it's kind of sad also because a lot of people who come at me with the testosterone thing are men. Yeah. And when a lot of men that
probably because they're insecure, they're
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Not all men, I love men that come to me and they're like props and this and that. I love that, and it just shows how you're a confident man and you don't care if a woman's bigger than you. You're confident and that's it. And these men that come at me like, yeah, you're on this, you're on
they're probably linguini.
Yeah, I'm just like, how insecure are you to
But it's just because you're built doesn't make them less built.
No,
what does it have to do?
I know, it's just
cares?
Exactly. They're like, oh, you're like a dude. And I'm like, okay, and if that's the look I'm going for, why are you trying to find an insult because it's not working, 100%. He's like, oh, you look more of a guy than me. So I'm like, okay, so maybe it's you the problem. Maybe you look too much like a little woman and I'm the one you know what I mean? Maybe it's not me the issue. You look like a little bitch at the end, So yeah. So that's how I take the scenario.
Always the people that are insecure within themselves are the fastest ones to bring out an insult on somebody else because they're insecure, so they're trying to bring you down as well. I feel like a lot of times in my life I'm a very confident person, and I think people try to break you down when you're confident. Yeah. They see how confident you are, they almost want to insult you.
Yeah.
They don't. People, everybody promotes self-confidence and you know, don't be insecure and all this, love yourself. But then as soon as you love yourself, you're happy with
so true.
You're cocky. I've gotten that so many times. You're cocky. You're
and then people
selfish.
try to bring you down. People are like, oh well, you know, I wouldn't be that confident.
Like why is she so
you?
into herself or something? Like it's almost like saying like I like the way I look or I love myself is like wrong.
It's a bad thing.
But everybody says, oh, don't be insecure. And then as soon as you're like, oh, I'm beautiful, people are like, okay, well, whoa.
She's a bit conceited.
Calm down. It's like, no, bitch, I'm fucking hot as shit. Like,
I just got my hair done and I look fucking good.
You know what I mean? Like, I just think sometimes confidence is actually a threat to people. Like, people see that and they say, oh my God, like, she or he is so confident in themselves, like, I can't bring them down. Like, and I think that's a sign of a weak personality.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. And honestly, I love seeing on social media, like, even girls who are a bit thicker and so on, they don't look like the magazine girls and stuff, and they post it, or they could go to the beach and wear a bikini, even if they have stretch marks. I love that because how crazy is it that you don't look like that typical girl and you could walk down that beach and not care? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's crazy how confident a person could be, which is amazing, you know?
Right.
And no matter what way you look, whether you're chubby, you're skinny, you're this, you'll always have a hater, no matter what. Yeah. So for me, look how you want to look, and that's it. And at the end of the day, you surround yourself by people who love you. That, you know, for sure, you're going to run into people who don't like you, and this not swerve, go on to the next, and that's it. Yeah. You know, eventually you'll find your circle and your people, and you'll be happy. For sure, if you hang around with people who hate you, like, you know, you won't go anywhere.
Yeah, people who hate you or people are negative, it's only going to make you negative. Yeah, you have to be with people who really bring you up, and that's just it.
The worst thing... Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to actually switch topic. I wanted to ask how you met your broad of a girlfriend.
I was talking to my boyfriend, and he's like, fuck, she always gets the hottest girl. I was like, I know. Like what is this?
Like, where did you meet her? Where do you, like...
Well, you know what's actually funny is because a lot of my girlfriend now and my exes, I'm actually their first girlfriend. Okay, most of them they've always been with men. Okay. And obviously when they first meet me, they think I'm a guy, right? Yeah. And that's another thing I love is because when they meet me, they think I'm a guy, right? And then when they love me and you know whatever, and then I'm like, yeah, well, I'm a girl, and they're like, oh shit, like what's happening? Like they're confused, you know? But at the end of the day, it just proves to people, does it really matter what's in between my legs?
Love is genderless.
You know, that's when these people, like even my girlfriend now, you know, for sure at the beginning it was hard for her because like the whole transitioning and so on. But now like she realized like at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. Like I love you, how you look, you're confident.
Amazing.
And you know what? She makes me feel so confident also because for me, the way I look, I can't have like someone weak, okay? Because when we walk, like when we were at the beach, like we're walking and like I'm in a sports bra, people are confused looking. She takes my hand and she's like, yo, like let's fucking walk down this beach and not care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's the type of woman I need in my life. And that's why she's also the girl I pick because she makes me feel strong, confidence and so on. Right. And actually, I used to see her at the gym here and there, you know, whatever. And one day we're at Picnic Electronique. And I'm actually...
Every story starts with picnic.
I'm actually kind of like a shy person, but I kind of got, you know, drunk and stuff.
Okay,
so you get
everything
a bit loosey,
comes out
that's
when you're
it.
drunk.
And I was seeing her dancing with this dude actually from my gym. She was grinding on him and whatever. And I'm like, whatever, I got this.
I'm so much better.
Yeah, that's it. So I go dancing in front of her. We're looking at each other. So, you know, I never want to go too strong onto a girl, especially if she's straight. You know, I got to still respect her. Then I turn my back to her and then I feel her touching my back a bit. I'm like, okay, sign number one. All right. So I turn around. I look at her mouth. She looks at mine. Oh, okay, lean in. We started making out and so on, whatever. And from that day on, like, it just hit right away. The next day, we chilled a bit that night. I went my way, she went her way. And actually, what's funny, you know, she texted me. She's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, who is this? Cody. Cody? Who the hell's Cody? You know? I'm like, she goes, well, last night, I'm like, shit, did I do something with a dude? Like, Cody's a guy name, you know? At first, and then she's like, well, Cody, you know? I'm like, oh, fuck, yeah, you know? And yeah,
here you are stereotyping.
Yeah, I know. No, but at first I was like, fuck, did I do something with a dude, you know? But,
she's the one thing you should do.
Yeah! I'm like, fuck, did I sleep with a guy yesterday or something? But no, and then from that day on, like, it just hit. Honestly, like, we've had our ups and downs, which is
like
normal.
Any relationship.
Honestly. And you know what? Like, from now on, like, we got back together, and for me, I think, like, she's honestly my soulmate. Like, we've worked so, you know, like you said, we have our ups and downs and whatever, but for me, like, she makes me stronger, and I think I made her stronger as a person, and from there on, I think...
I think that's the best relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No matter what, even, like, as straight people, you need someone who, you know, makes you strong.
Brings you forward. Like,
exactly.
I think what I wanted to talk about was, I feel like a lot of times, especially, I mean, in the whole gay community, but I see it a lot with girls, I feel like, is like, you know, I feel like especially your, I guess, stud, like you look more boyish, like you'll get a lot of straight girls or like girls that like are attracted to you because you look like a boy, but then it's like, but they don't want to be labeled as a lesbian. You know what I mean? So it's like, how does that work? Like, even on TikTok, I see a lot of people, they'll comment, let's say on your videos, or, you know, all those girls, Ruby Rose, all those girls that are a little bit more like masculine, and they'll be like, oh my God, I thought I was straight. Like, oh my God, wait, am I still straight because I find her hot? But it's like, how does that work?
Well,
like,
when I was younger, actually, it was kind of... at one point, like, yeah, it's fun, you know, you get a bunch of straight girls, they're hot, you know, it's fun. But at some point, I was like, okay, but like, first of all, I'm not just an experience. You know, that's where I started being like, I'm not just a girl's experience. I was fed up of that. You know, it's like, okay, I got to sleep with Kayla. Like, she's, a hot stud, whatever. It's cool. Yeah, but I want love too. I want a long-lasting relationship, you know? So at some point, that's where I started to really start picking my girls properly. And, you know, really looking at them and being like, yeah, I'm a girl, but now you need to realize, like, how you expected your life to be is going to be totally different. You know, the way if you want kids, you know, like, a bunch of stuff, like even her, she needs to adapt. Like when we go out, they're like, hey sir, like don't be shy or ashamed of that, just be like, hey, what's up, you know, go along with it. So, you know, like it's not just her life but how our life is going to be together. It's a total 360. So as a person, you need to be very strong. You know,
you need to be ready also to take on that. And I think like it makes me sad a lot when, and I see it a lot with like I'm more friends with gay guys, so I see it a lot with like gay guys, but like people, like they'll be like sorry, they'll be so into them or like you or whatever, and then they're like, okay, but like nobody can know, and like they want it to be a secret, and I'm like, and it's like, it makes me feel so sad because I would never want to be felt like I have to be a secret, like nobody can see us together, like, you know what I mean, like we can only hang out at 2 a.m. when nobody's around, and nobody can see us going in the house, or they're
together. Not ready to come out, so they're like, give me time, but then but you know, there's I don't feel like there's ever really a right time. I feel like if it's in you to be that, then you should 100%.
If you're not ready to come out of the closet, you shouldn't be going after somebody, because it's really hurtful, and I'm sure you've experienced it, for sure, to be like, you need to be a secret, like nobody wants to be a secret, like I think a lot of times relationships can get ruined in that sense in the gay community. If like, you know, for them, they're just you're an experience, and nobody can know, and don't tell anybody, and like, no, I'm not coming out, I'm straight or whatever, you know, like I feel like it could give a toll on you.
For sure.
A toll on you, sorry.
For sure, 100%. And that's why at some point, like even my mom, you know, she came up to me, she's like, Kayla, you gotta stop going after these straight girls. Like she's, you know, her mentality is a bit different, but she's like, they like men, Kayla, you need to understand, you need to, but I'm like, Mom, like, first of all, if they already came into the bed with me, it's already because you're not fully straight. Like, already right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I tried to explain to her. I'm like, with time, like, you're born, like, first of all, most of the time you're born to let's say, I love men, I love this, I love that, right? But I truly believe at the end of it, just like me, you never know. I might fall for a boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know at the end of the day. So for me, it's like, people need to just, before investing in someone, be sure of themselves, you know, because it does hurt, and like I said, it did happen to me so many times. At the beginning it was fun, you're sleeping with people, but at some point I'm like, okay, does anyone actually love me enough to stay with me long term, you know? So for sure, I think that's a lot of problems gay people have, because some people are ashamed to come out, and so they do that. Or a lot of times, like couples, they could be in couples, like married couples, and like I would have couples come to me, and the wife would come to me, you know, and let's do this, is that, my husband, it's fine, but okay, so us, it's fine, but then you go back to your life, right? You know what I'm saying?
Like you're like a toy.
I'm like
like a toy.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
So at the end of the day, I was like, nah, you know, at some point, that's why I started taking more time to meet who I meet, and be like, listen, like, this is what it's gonna be. Are you ready or not? If you're not, then choose someone else.
Yeah, you've grown past that.
Have you ever got like Instagram, like people DM you saying that they're in the closet, and how do I come out, or kind of just ask you tips?
So many people ask me, just even like, how did I build this confidence, you know, like how did I come out to my friends, to my people. Actually, someone not long ago actually wrote to me how she didn't know how to come out to her parents, and what to do if it didn't happen, and so on, and you know, and I was so happy that these people come to me, because for them to see me, to come to me, it's because they could sense how I've grown as a person, and how I handle myself.
And I also feel like you have such positive energy, and I feel like people really they want
They're
to,
drawn to
you're
that.
you're a magnet.
Yeah.
No, they appreciate because even I even post negative stuff in the sense of like I've had ups and downs in my life, and I talk about it and I say it. You know, my life is not perfect,
But
and that's what I'm showing. That's what I'm saying.
And I feel like people
Exactly.
like when you're authentic.
Exactly.
When you like you have this, you're trying to show a world that's not actually
what it is all the
what
time.
it is all
Exactly.
the time. And especially with Instagram, we find ourselves always posting our best moments,
Yeah.
so you don't see
Our best selfies,
Exactly, that's
and then
it.
you go to the tag photos. It's not all these.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah.
You gotta show the Insta and the tag photos.
That's
and
it.
Well, and
Exactly.
Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Facebook
Facebook
is
is
the worst. No, Facebook is
the
worst.
worst. My
Yeah,
God.
that's bad.
If you get to the Facebook, like there's been times I'm into a guy and I go check his Facebook and then I go,
Yeah.
maybe I like
Yeah, I
him.
know.
And then when the friends ask for a picture, you go, he looks better in person.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, do you have any advice maybe you could give to somebody? I mean, in any situation, just somebody who's not comfortable with themselves, or they want to come out of the closet, or a certain way they look, or anything like that. Like,
Or signs to look out for, like for them to know.
Yeah.
Well, basically, for sure, the first thing is you need to work on yourself before everything around you. You have to make sure that you're strong, your mentality is strong. You need to understand that it's not you the issue. You're not a problem. You're not the outcast. So as soon as you're strong, you know, and you're confident of yourself, for sure you could face anything. You know, once a negative comes towards you, you know right away, okay, well, it's not me the issue, it's you. Now I'm Xing you out of my life.
Right.
Next. You know, and don't be scared to get rid of people in your life. That's what people need to understand. It doesn't mean that you know this person for 10 years that you need to take their
Right.
shit. You know,
because sometimes you just outgrow people. You
Exactly.
outgrow
and
people,
just if
it's
somebody's not
okay.
willing to change their opinion.
Exactly.
And that's another thing that I feel like is being brought up a lot right now with Black Lives Matter and that whole movement, is the fact that it's okay to learn something and change your opinion. Like,
Yes.
I think education is
key. It's
number
key.
one. It's how you become open-minded. Like, a lot of times, like you were saying, like, it comes from not having enough information is where prejudice and all these things come from.
Yeah.
So I think, like, it's fine if, you know, if you have a friend and right away they're not accepting of it, it's okay if over time, like, you teach them and you show them and you're making it different. Just like with the girl in the washroom, like, you probably taught her a lesson, like, don't judge people by the way they look or, you know, how much muscles they have. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not up to you. So I think it's also like, I think you can't be so quick to cut everybody off, like, and just be open.
Give them a chance.
Give
too, for
everybody
sure.
a chance. But if somebody's making you feel like you're a problem, like,
forget about
fuck
it.
that. Like,
Yeah.
snip.
Like, even when I was younger, the craziest thing, because especially like I said before, I've dated mostly straight girls. And many times when they came out to their parents while I was there at the kitchen table.
Oh my God, you need to tell us the
Yo,
story.
you don't
Tell us
understand.
I just feel like that's the worst setup.
Yo,
like,
it was the worst. So we've been best friends for like a year. We're eating at the table and so
And
she
the
looks at
parents
me.
had no idea?
No idea.
No.
She goes, oh, I got something to say. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know, and then she goes, yeah, well, me and Kayla are dating and now, so yeah, I'm a lesbian. The mom's like, excuse me. I was like, what? She starts crying, okay? The mom starts crying. She looks at me. She goes, what the fuck did you do to my daughter?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like 18 years old. What the fuck did you do to my daughter? I was like, I don't know.
You're like, really? At the dinner table? She
Yeah.
didn't want to do it alone.
Yo,
She wanted somebody there.
I'm like, you fucking bitch.
No.
that's like when the kid goes, can you ask my mom if you could sleep over?
Yeah.
Yes, you. And then you're
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
there like,
Literally.
But that's it. When I think those things that happened to me in my life when I was younger is what made me today. You know what I'm saying? In that scenario, I just looked at the mom and I just said basically, I'm like, number one, you don't know me, so don't judge me. You know, and what's sad is a lot of times people see gay people as like in the olden times, like, you know, like as if on est des rien. We're like nothing. You know, gay people were shit and this. No, like I could have an education, I could have a good job. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like I looked at it, I'm like, first of all, you don't even know me. Second of all, your daughter's 18 years old. She can make her own decision. It could be like any other relationship. Oh, but the kids, we could have kids nowadays. We could do, you know.
Oh, there's so many ways.
Yeah, it was
Like,
crazy. So that happened with one girlfriend, even with the other girlfriend, same thing. But that one was the worst. The dad walked in on us.
No.
Oh my God, you don't understand. I was like 15 years old and we were upstairs getting it on, whatever. I was on top. She knocks me. I turn around. The dad's there staring at us. I was like, Oh
no.
Yeah. He was like, get the fuck out of my house, Nana. Yeah, it was like, my mom picked me up. She's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, man. Yeah, she was losing it. But for me, like, these experiences, like, I was like, did that actually just happen? And imagine that girl, I ended up dating her for 5 years secretly.
Oh
like,
my God.
yeah, it was like the hardest thing ever. But that's when I was like, I can't hide. Like, those 5 years was like insane to see her. We had to say we're going to the best friends and this. It was just chaos. So, but just to say, that hiding phase for me, all those things, like today I'm like an open book. It's like, I'm free. I do what I want. I look how I want. And it is what it is. And that's it.
But at least you took it in a positive way. Because I think a lot of people, like, I know a lot of guys. I'm sorry I keep bringing this back to guys. It's just...
No, it doesn't matter.
Oh my God. It's pill time. She's got to take her pills so she doesn't get a baby.
Birth control. Forgot to shut that off. Guys,
don't shut it off for too long.
Practice safe sex.
Yeah.
That's what our next sponsor is going to be, fucking
Trojan.
Trojan. But, my fucking anti-baby pill.
Oh my
just
God.
ruined my thought. What were we talking about? Anyways, just the fact that, guys, I have a lot of gay friends, so I related a lot with guys, but I just see, like, a lot of my guy friends who have a thing for going for straight guys, and then like I just feel like their confidence and everything just gets pushed down because it's like, you know, you're always trying to change somebody, and it kind of hurts you when somebody's not willing to do something for you. Like, you love them so much, you'll do anything, but they're not willing to do the same. And it's like, I think it's really hurtful, and I think it's a lesson in itself, but I also think like nobody should put themselves down to the point of like saying, okay, I'll be a secret. Like, you're worth more than that. Like, 100%. You and all of us, we're all worthy of a love that's like, can be public. We shouldn't have to hide. No matter what your love is, what, you know, everybody has some kind of wrong love, and nobody's ever gonna be happy. So I just think like, you're worthy of a type of being shown off.
But I also feel like, you live and you learn. Like, obviously, coming out, like, for her, she was in a secret relationship. I kind of get that in a way.
You had to go through it.
She had to go through it to realize, like, that she's worthy, you know? And
I mean, the lesson would be don't come out to your girlfriend's parents at the table.
First of all, saying that
don't
you're
let the
gay,
dad walk in.
By the way, I've been sleeping with a girl this whole time. My best friend, you know? So, that was very something.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, good times.
I feel like there's so many stories like that of just like horror stories.
Sure.
But I think like...
Oh, what's the story? You said you had a story that you...
Oh, my story? Okay, well, this is kind of like passe in the conversation, but I remember when I was talking about like, you know, when people mistake you for a guy or something like that, like taking you bad, I remember like I went through this huge tomboy phase when I was like...
Oh, same.
But no, like I was legit, I wanted to be a boy. Like I remember it was maybe started when I was like 6 until I was maybe like 10, like just in that stage where like you're so young, like you still kind of look like a boy. And I remember I begged my parents to cut my hair short, and every time
and now she's doing it. Her parents don't have to beg her.
Maybe I just wanted fucking short hair. Who knew?
Oh my God.
And I would go to the salon, and then I'd be like, please. I would show them a picture of like this like really short like boy haircut. Be like, I really want this, and then my mom would be like, and she would make me cut my hair like a girl, and I would leave crying every time. But I remember, like, I always used to wear boy clothes and whatever. I loved it. I loved being, like, one of the boys. It was just, like, I was a huge tomboy. And I remember I was in line at Cul de Castor on the Rideau Canal. You know what I'm talking about? We were skating. And I'm in line, and I hear these two kids behind me. I'm, like, 9. I hear them go, is that a boy or a girl? And then I was like...
She was all offended.
I was like... I don't like this anymore. I was like, wait a second.
But I think when you're young, like, a lot of people go through a bunch of these things. Even some boys, you know, I like nail polish, just that, but they grow out and they're men, you know? They're not into...
I just don't think hair, clothes, I don't think those things...
No.
It doesn't
with time,
judge your sexuality.
With time, like, I think it was just like I said at the beginning, you know, in the olden days, it's you're a boy, you need to wear blue, you need to wear, you know?
Play with
like,
Hot Wheels.
Exactly.
Pink is for girls, blue is for guys.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, it's not like
just,
that anymore.
I just think, like, we've come a long way. I still think there's a long way to go.
Yeah,
but, like, and now I even look at it in high school. Like, my boyfriend works in a high school, and it's like, everybody's gay. Who's gay? Who's
now
bi,
it's like almost cool to be gay. Like that's what it seems like.
But honestly, it makes me so happy. Like it makes me so happy that people are.
I would rather you come out and say I'm gay, and then later on be like, you know what? I realized maybe I like both, or maybe actually I'm straight. Maybe I was just confused. But it's just like own it. Whatever you feel, own it. Like
me, I love guys who come out and they're like, yeah, I'm bi. I love that because they don't care to be like, yeah, I could be kind of feminine and I could be manly, and I don't care. I go for whatever I like, you know, because I find sometimes for a man who's kind of bi or into men or both, it's hard for him to come out because it makes him unmasculated. So, you know, it's kind of scary to be judged and so on. But for me, I find that actually attractive because you look confident and comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like...
I think a lot of girls will look at a guy who's bi and be like, oh, well, he's just scared to say he's gay.
Exactly.
I think, like, bi people are put in this category of being, like, too scared to commit. But I'm like, it's not really that,
Guys are really judged, actually.
Yeah,
because they're just confused. They don't know what they want. Yeah. No, they just don't care what's between your legs. Like, that's point final. Everyone's different, you know? Yeah. That's what I find annoying, too, is how people... That they always need to have a certain, like, you're this, you're that, you're whatever. Yeah. Like, even me, at some point, I'm like, maybe I'm gender neutral because I'm, like, a girl, but I'm so manly. The only thing that makes me a girl right now is, like, literally what's between my legs, you know? Right. And for me... Also, so many people, they're like, okay, you're going to have a sex change. But then I'm like, no, I don't need a dick, sorry. I don't need a dick to make me feel like a man, you know? Like, I like being, just masculated, and that's it, you know? And I don't like being like, you're this, you're that. I don't know. Sometimes people ask me, oh, what are you? I'm like, I don't even know. I wake up somewhere in the morning, I don't even know what I am. Like, I just wake up and do my day.
Amazing, though. You know? Amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
You're yourself, and that's it.
I think a lot of trans people struggle with the idea that, I mean, like, I don't know how I'm bringing this to trans, but I just feel like they struggle a lot with,
you're throwing everything.
Sure. I'm throwing it bi, lesbian, gay,
but
trans.
I went into that phase too. I'm like, do I want a sex change?
Yeah.
It really went through my mind, and I'm like, do I really want to go through that? Like I said, do I really need a dick to make me feel a certain way? And then I just felt like I didn't, but it was really a big struggle in my mind.
I think it's also a lot of people telling you, you look like a boy,
and I
like
thought
a boy,
maybe my life would be easier if I would get my dick, because I'd just be like, okay, sorry.
I would get my dick.
Get my dick.
Jesus is throwing out dicks. You know?
I'm just like you. I'm the best of both worlds, you know? And that's it. That's how you have to look at it, you know?
But I think a lot of trans people will struggle with the fact that they don't look like the gender that they feel on the inside. And it's like,
it must be hard.
I was talking to somebody who was like, how do you identify? And they were like, well, I didn't get a sex change yet, so you can still refer to me as he, but like you can also say she. And I was like, well, no, like you don't need a sex change to change your pronouns.
Right.
If you're a girl,
if you feel a certain
you don't need
way,
to look like a girl to be like spoken to as a girl.
I totally
like
agree with that.
It's not about looks. I just feel like you're a girl, you can look more boyish, but it's like I don't need to call you he because you look like a boy. You
but
know
it's
what
like me. Some people, a lot of people out of respect, they ask me like, what do you want me to call you? I literally say, call me whatever you see me as. Like. Because I feel bad, because sometimes in a way people are like always he and they know I'm a girl, but okay, so leave it at he. I'm not gonna start arguing every time, you know, like, oh no, I'm a girl, so call me that, you know. And it's weird because it's crazy how everyone literally has a certain way of looking at you. Some people look at me, they're like, Kayla, no matter the muscle, you look like a girl. Like your eyes, you have something about your eyes.
That's what I was saying.
Exactly.
She was saying I couldn't believe anybody would mistake you as
a
guy.
Yeah, and you were saying no, she looks like a boy.
Yeah, and then some people, they literally look at me and they're like, no, you're like a dude. Point final. You know what I'm saying? But it's just shows to you how everyone sees people differently. Yeah. It's crazy. And especially the funniest thing is when I go out and like a girl talks to me and stuff, I'm like, yeah, my name's Kayla. And Kayla? What the fuck? Like they're so confused. I'm like, yeah.
Kayla and Cody.
Yeah. Yo, we went on vacation. Exactly. We went on vacation. They look at me. Yes, Cody. Kayla. And I'm like, no, it's the opposite. You know? Yeah, it's super funny. But yeah, no, it's it must be really hard for trans for just for themselves. And it's sad because some of them can't have the operation for whatever reason. And it's such a big process. Like, because when I was thinking about it, I wanted to maybe look into it. You have to go to have it free. You have to go through our psychiatre and this and that if you want it free. And they need to accept it for you. And there's so many people I know, they did not get accepted. So they need to live, and they don't have the money for that. Like, it's so much money, and it's sad because just
Do you know what it goes for, roughly?
And that's in Canada. They pay for it here, but in the States and stuff,
it must go for thousands of dollars. Just to say, for a boob job, it's like, what, $7,000, $10,000 more. So imagine just for that. Then imagine your genitals. Like, it must be so much. And it's more expensive from a woman to a man. Yeah. Because we need to, like, add extra parts. A guy just remove. Exactly. So yeah, it's a lot of money. It's crazy. So it kind of sucks for them, but I mean, if they could just feel comfortable with what they have and like said, like try and just accept them, like even if I have, you know, a penis, I still feel like a woman and I'm a woman, then good for you, you know? Like I said, you don't need to justify to no one. You don't need to
convince everybody.
Convince everyone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And for sure, you'll find someone nowadays, like, so many people are open, you know? So for sure, you'll find someone like you or who understands you and accepts you, you know?
Yeah, I believe there's somebody for everyone. And I think,
for sure.
and I think people like you, like, for example, like, just, you know, coming up in, like, a town, like, I guess we're no New York or something that's so, like, you know, everybody's in the street flamboyant. Like, I just feel like I feel like people will look up to you and be like, wow, you did it, so I can too. Like, in the city you're from or whatever. Like, all these people that do it and they're so confident. It's like, you don't realize the effect it has on other people. Like, you've probably been an idol to so many, like, younger girls or even guys, you know, in the sense of just, like, your confidence. It's like, wow, like, and I think it's really good in that sense. It's almost like a trickle down, like, effect of, like...
Well, I'm super happy. Like, honestly, the fact, like, you know, people that DM me, they're like, sorry, I'm random, sorry. But no, it's fine. Like, I like that.
I only get that about my no-show.
No, but because of that, it makes me want...
Same.
It makes me want to keep talking about it. You know, if no one would respond to it, then I'd be like, okay, maybe I'm doing this for nothing or I'm on my own, you know? But the fact that people come right to me, it makes me so happy because, like you said...
For sure.
Maybe I helped someone in the time that I had no one to look up at or to talk to. Because, like I said, back in those days, like, it's not even that long ago, but I find from when I was just in high school and today, it's like crazy how much it grew, you know? Like, even in high school, I'd go to the club and girls I saw from my school, they'd be like, oh, like, don't talk to her, like, you might become a lesbian, you know, if you're talking to her. You know, like, it was a disease, you know what I'm saying? Just to say,
lesbian.
No, but it's crazy because then years later, I'll never forget, I was at a music festival and those same girls I saw and they came up to me, oh, hi, Kayla. I'm like, yeah, what's up? What? Oh, you know, you're kind of hot. No, bye. Thank you. Ciao.
Next.
Like, no, next. But just to say, it's crazy how, imagine in that club you used to look at me like I was like this creature, and now that I'm confident, I'm out, I'm this, you want to come talk to me because you were insecure back then, you know? And the best thing I ever, you know, encountered was once I went to the washroom and this girl comes up to me, she goes, yeah, you and your sex change, but I'm like, excuse me? Who said I'm having a sex change?
Like...
Yeah, like she knew everything, you know? And I'm like, listen, I'll keep my woman parts and I'll dress like a boy and that's what it'll be. I'm like, because you think you're straight, you know who you are. I'm like, you look like every girl in this club. I'm like, you're a follower and that's it. So don't.
Holy.
Oh yeah. I told
She's
her.
got a word for
yo.
you.
I told her straight up. I'm like, you look like every bitch in this club. Like, and you think that I'm not the confident one? Like, girl, please take a walk. Ciao. Like, don't come bother me. But yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, when people come and attacking me right away, I come and look at them, and it's not to be in a mean way, but sometimes people need a taste of their own medicine.
Right.
They need a reality check.
Exactly. I'll never come at first and be like, I don't like you because of this. No. But if you come at me, I'll come at you. I could see your insecurity the second I look at you. So don't come at me, you know?
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah.
I think that's super good, honestly. And I think a lot of people just need some kind of reality check to say, like, you know what, look at yourself first before you go judging anyone.
Yeah, big time.
But I think we're kind of getting better at that. I think the more we go, like, people that are, like, judgmental kind of feel, like, ashamed to even be judgmental.
They're starting to feel alone because not many people will back them up anymore.
100%. And I'm willing, like, if somebody says something that I don't agree with, I'm like, I don't find that funny.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's like people will stop saying jokes and eventually they're just like, wow, it's no longer cool.
It's not happening
like, I remember
anymore.
in high school, it's like there's all these like gay jokes and this and that. And it's like, I just feel like now everybody's just like, well, that's not funny. Like,
But it's so sad that even at a young age, like my niece, once I was talking, I'm like, yeah, I'm gay. And she goes, shh, Tia, no. I'm like, why? She goes, don't say that out loud. I don't want people laughing at you. Like, and she's 7 years old.
It's crazy.
Like, that's how much, you know, how already a child understands these things. It's crazy. Yeah.
I read this post and it was like, just like stupid. And it was like a meme and it said like, oh, like, you know, they just released that apparently SpongeBob was gay. But then they're like, somebody was like, how am I supposed to explain that to my child? And they're like, how am I supposed to explain that there's a sponge living underwater in a pineapple with a squirrel that wears a helmet? Like, I'm like, but there's, how is him being gay the hardest thing to explain about the fucking show?
But
like,
even that, this other thing I saw once, they're like, you know how they don't want to show too many gay things on TV because my kid watching that might want to be gay? But then we're like, okay, well, I've watched street shit all my life and look how I am now. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you watch on TV does not make anything, you know? Like, it doesn't mean, or else I would have been straight by now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So already, like, it just shows how insecure these parents are and how they're scared. And, you know, and I find it so sad how, like, some of these parents can't support their children. Like, it's your child at the end of the day.
It's like, who cares? It honestly makes me so sad, and I always said, like, I hope I can have all the gay trans kids in the world, because it's like, I know that I feel safe having them, because it's like, I accept you, I love you no matter what. It's like, I can't bear the idea
of somebody not being able
to. Oh my God, it's like, you know what, just don't, give it to me. Give it to me. Like, I can't deal with the fact that somebody could not accept their child. Like, that's like one, like, I think parents need to learn, like, I was doing a lot of research on, like, trans, and it's just like a lot of them were like, I learned so much actually from my child, like from like learning how to, like, a lot of these people weren't as open, but it's like, you take the lead, you know, like, it's a learning process, you're getting educated as you go, and it's like, people who can't accept that is just like, it's so heartbreaking.
Well, like my mom, like I said, she's super religious, and you know, she had to understand and learn from my perspective how I deal with life and how life is beautiful no matter what. And like, at the end of the day, I could still be Catholic and pray to Jesus and still be gay. You know what I mean? Like, life is okay, you know, and I'm glad that I got to teach her that, because now I feel like she grew up very, you know, strict and so on. Now she's going on all these dates and this, and, you know, she's having fun, and, you know, and I think I taught her that, to just enjoy life and be yourself, you know?
Amazing.
So I'm so proud.
And I think that's the thing. Like I'm saying, it's a trickle effect. Like, just you and your mom, like the little, not saying that your mom wasn't open, but it's like just these little things that you open people's eyes. Like, I think that's how you get forward in life.
And the more
like,
and more people talk about it, the more you educate them, and the more they're just gonna have to learn. Exactly. And besides, there's more gay people out here hiding in a closet than there are straight. So
no, but even my niece, like I said, she's 7 years old, and we grew up in the same house, and just her, like, it's crazy how she understood things and started seeing. And it was funny, because I was walking the house in my boxers, and at first she'd look at me, she goes, "You look like my daddy." And I was like, oh crap, you know? And I was like, well, no, I'm not, you know? And then she'd be like, "You can't play with this toy, it's only for girls." And she's like, "Oh no, but you are a girl," you know? and then with time, and she saw an old picture of me, she goes, "Oh, is that when you were a girl?" And it's like, she's kind of understanding, like, you know, I'm like a boy. Yeah, the transition of being more boyish. And once I went and picked her up at daycare, and they're like, "Oh, your uncle's here." She goes, "No, that's my Tia. She dresses like a boy, but she's a girl." I was like, "Oh,
that's
yeah." She's like, "Boom, boom, man."
7 years old and educated.
You both put on your glasses and
that's
you go away. You're
like, you know, but I'm glad, like, I got to be in her life for her to see that, to understand that. And it's funny, she's gone up to Cody, she goes, "So did you have a first kiss with my Tia?" You know, and stuff like that. She's so cute, you know, and she understands, like, no matter what, like, love is love, you know what I'm saying? So,
how long have you guys been together, you and Cody?
Almost a year, actually.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, almost a year.
But it's definitely, it starts with a young generation. I think, like,
if you instill it in them when they're young, they're gonna grow up, and they're gonna be able to understand different people's opinions.
And it's like, just you. She's gonna be open now, and she's gonna teach her friends, and her friends who are around you, and it's like, I just think it starts from when you're a kid. Like, people 100%. Are taught to think. Nobody is born and says, "Fuck gays." Like, you know what I mean? No, like, it's like, 100%. It's all taught. It's all taught in the way you were raised. And no, you get the girl toy at McDonald's. There's the girl and the boy toy, and this and that. And it's like all these things that we're taught, and you couldn't wear blue.
Fun fact, actually, when we were in LaSalle College, we had to do like a school project, and we were actually on different teams, but we both made it to the finals. Yeah. I was doing some kind of hospital gowns, and she was doing...
I was doing a gender... So the idea behind it was actually this. So it was actually gender neutral.
And this was how many years ago? 5-6 years ago? Before, it was a thing, but it wasn't as...
Yeah, it was actually 4 years ago, maybe.
It was 4 years
2016.
ago.
So we came up with... it was just when it was like this... Caitlyn Jenner came out, and it was like coming up, you know, a peak. So we came out with gender neutral clothing... Gender neutral children's clothing. So from like 0 to 12, like just like genderless clothing, like something could be looking more like a skirt. Like there's no sections, no colors, like it was all gender neutral. And the idea behind it was like that, like, a child is a little seed. Like, it grows and it learns with what you give it. So
you bring the kid in the store and they choose what they want. If a skirt is what they want, then a skirt is what they wear.
And there's no section. Like, I remember when I was a kid, just say my tomboy phase, like, my mom would bring me to L'Aubainerie. Do you remember L'Aubainerie? Oh. And I would always, like, end up in the boys section, and I would take something, and I'd be like, Mom, can I get this? She'd be like, where'd you get that? I was like, the boys section. She's like, go put it back.
Me too. My mom would try and shove nylons on me. I was like, no, I go crazy. But it's just crazy how already, without even knowing at a young age, I knew I didn't like that.
Yeah.
You know, I knew it was.
When did you know? Like, How old would you say you were?
I became a fucking girl. Like, I changed from being 8 years old tomboy. Now,
like, what was it that you were like, oh, I'm sure it's not exactly one thing.
No,
like,
well, maybe when I was like, I think I was like 10, 11 years old, I played on, for the St. Leonard Cougars, okay? So it's a football team, and it's all guys, okay? There's like 40 guys. My mom's like, Kayla, you do not like one boy on this team? I was like, no. And she's like, okay. And that's when I started realizing, like, they were all changing in front of me, and I was never like, oh, yeah, that ass, you know? I was just like, ugh, you know? And then the cheerleaders would pass by, and I'd be like, hello, you know? And it was just something naturally. And then that's when I started realizing, you know, it went through my mind. I'm like, oh, my God.
I'm
like,
sure you went back and forth.
Yeah, and I was like, am I normal? Am I this? So I actually tried once. I'm like, fuck, okay, I'll try with a boy, you know? So we go over in the room, whatever. He pulls down his pants. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, no, I'm out. The poor guy was like, well, what's wrong? It's too small. It's like, he was so insecure. I was like, no, it's not you. It's me. Like, for real, it's me, you know?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, poor guy.
Shout out to him. He's probably traumatized.
If you're listening to this,
like,
just
all he had to do was pull out his pants. I was like, nah, ciao. But yeah, that was my only experience with a man. God. And that's about it.
Work out well.
That's from there on, I was like, yeah, I know exactly where I'm going. So, yeah.
Well, it's good for you at least.
Yeah.
Do you have any last things that you'd like to say, wrap it up, any advice you'd like to give?
Well, for sure, no matter gay, straight, bi, whatever you are, to be confident.
We are all human.
That's it. We're all human. Be confident. Surround yourself by good people. Be positive, and that's it.
Yeah. Good vibes only.
That's it.
And it
exactly.
trickles down. It trickles down.
And when you're happy and you know what you want, it'll come.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah.
Give what you get. Get what you give.
Oh my God.
The remix. But thank you so much again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for coming.
Happy Pride Month.
Well,
Happy Pride Month.
Keep exuding confidence.
I shall.
Thanks, guys, for watching.
Bye.
Thank you.